Hey everybody, so we're going to be getting into week 12 here. Just going to verify a couple things that I can, yeah, okay, looks like I can be heard. All right, so get into some recruiting here. We have picked up some recruits, I believe. I'm just going to look through here. It's been a wild weekend, or been a long weekend, a lot of driving in the car. We're just going to go down here just to see if we've gotten so far. We do have several. So we've got a quarterback, an athlete, a guard, and a defensive lineman. We're just going to keep working on who we've got still. We're in the lead for a lot of these guys, a lot more of them than last year. Offer him a scholarship. Don't want to let him slip away. Don't really need any more running backs, but looks like we're going to be getting them. Outside linebacker, not only a 2-star recruit. This is a guy that I really want, Scott Yates. And then Kevin Mack. Maybe awesome to get him. But again, he probably wouldn't be starting for us at running back for at least a year or two. We're really right on the edge with Chuck Cummings at wide receiver, which we could really use him. We could really use a strong freshman wide receiver. All right. Still have some points remaining there. I might wait though until after this game to allocate them. So we're at number 3 right now. So in our 3rd season, we've been an absolute wrecking ball of a team. Coach Central, let's upgrade our defensive coordinator. Defensive coordinator. Shut down. Let's just continue to add to our defensive backs boost there. But yeah, no, we've been having a really good season. I'm going to go check before we get into this game against the University of Louisiana Lafayette, which, if any of you guys remember, the Beavers are number 2. So some very strange occurrences happening in the top 5 of the football world. You know, Oregon State being number 2. The coaches poll were ranked 3rd. Media 3rd. And then the BCS were also ranked 3rd. So we are right outside of the top 2. And we'll see, unless one of these top teams would have to lose, I think, for us to jump in there. Their quarterback is absolutely killing it this year. Or the Beavers are. But at the same time, Tommy Washington is having himself an insane season. Lopez is doing okay. Solo tackles. And then we've got somebody pretty high up there for most of this. Although we are not super up there with interceptions. So our turnover turnovers have not been great. And Griffin, he doesn't have the biggest leg in the world, so we haven't been able to use him for super long distance kicks. But we're going to go ahead and get into this game. If you guys remember at all, last year, UL Lafayette, the Raging Cajuns, they took it to us pretty good. We did not win that game. In fact, it was, if I remember right, I think it was kind of a blowout. And so this is kind of, again, this is another revenge game for us. We're much more polished this year, at least we have been for most of this season. So I think it's just going to be us going in and seeing if we can do better than we did last year. So I think we're the away team for this game, so I think as far as visiting prospects go, yeah, none of those are for us, although they have a 4-star safeties. Looking at going there, the Raging Cajuns are not a team to laugh at by any means in this conference. So they are not a bad football team. So we're going to have to play well. All right, so we lose the toss. They'll probably kick it, yeah. Typically, if their ratings are higher, they'll kick it to you. Although they're not that much higher this year. The differential was a lot worse last season. And so McFadden is going to get up there for about 25 yards. He'll get to about the 26 or 27. It looks like Mark Myrick had a big game with 4 touchdowns last week. So we're looking to get him off to a good start today. And again, we're going with an empty backfield. And Robinson just can't hang on. We had, I think it was Jeremy Lopez last week, who had like 5 drops in the first half. Which those are just killer. When you drop the ball, it is really, and that was not great. Okay. So we're having a kind of a tough time here in the early going. We've dropped a pass and we just lost a yard. So we're gonna see how this turns out here. And then Hudson is not going to be able to turn up field, so he will not get the first down. Now the question is, and I think I'm going to go for it. Am I gonna regret this decision? Nope, we're not going to do that. No Hail Marys right now. And Myrick is able to get upfield for the first down and then gets knocked out of bounds after a 15-yard scramble. So we got kind of lucky there because that cornerback was not paying attention and ended up letting us get loose there. So it's 1st and 10, about the 48. Again, empty backfield. And Hudson drops that. So he drops, so that's our second drop pass of the game so far. I know we're in a hostile environment here, but we are the number 3 team in the country, so you would hope. And just like that, Tommy Washington picks up a 22-yard gain after that loss of 1 on his first attempt. But there's a big hole that he's able to run straight through there. So all right, Mark Myrick is back in the shotgun, and Allen's able to pull that in for the reception. Luke Allen has had some great catches this season. He's probably, my guess would be he's probably our 3rd receiver in terms of yards and touchdown catches. So that does not go anywhere. Not able to find a hole. So McFadden is in. We're going to see if he can make anything happen here. And he's able to get forward for about 4, so we do make this a little bit easier for us on 3rd and 7. Yeah, the amazing thing this season in college football is is the Oregon State Beavers. I mean, we're definitely shocking the college football world. And Robinson makes up for his drop catch earlier with that 12-yard reception to get the first down. Yeah, we totally, we've definitely shocked the college football world with how good we are this season compared to last year, where we did get to a bowl game, but we were more of a, kind of a 500 team going into that bowl season last year. And this year coming out and just having an absolute dominant season so far. We've had a really hard time. Yikes. So other than that one run that Tommy Washington had earlier in the game, and Hudson, though, is able to pull that in for the touchdown, so that makes up for that loss of yardage right there down inside the 5-yard line. But man, we are kind of struggling though on the ground at the moment, not picking up everybody, it seems like. But at least we get into the end zone, so it is 7-0. All right, so we're going to kick this one off, and he might take this one out. He does, but oh man, he should have gone down there. So a broken tackle. He's going to have a pretty nice return out to about the 27-yard line. It could have been a lot better for us there. So on defense, the stars this year have definitely been Strickland and Doty. Strickland at the defensive end position and Doty at the cornerback position. Doty is, I think, in the top 5 when it comes to solo tackles this season, and Strickland is in the top 5, I believe, when it comes to sacks. So they're both having excellent seasons. If you looked at our rankings earlier, at the beginning of the game, was the biggest issue for us is actually our passing defense. Our secondary is really struggling right now. I do think we have some recruits coming in, hopefully next season, if we can get them to sign with us, to really strengthen up and give us some better depth there. So they tried to run the screen there, but I think the quarterback got a little bit nervous and threw the ball away. So now it's going to be 3rd and 11. We're going to see what they come out in. So they've got 3 wide receivers, a tight end, and a running back in the pistol. And he's going to throw that right into Strickland, and so that's going to be an incomplete pass. It's kind of a funny-looking play there. Strickland beat the right tackle on the inside, on an inside move. And then, so now we're back to receive this punt. So Holman is back to receive this punt. He fields it cleanly, and man, if we had just been able to get that block on the edge, but we were not. So we're going to come out here again on 1st and 10 on the 28-yard line. We're going to see if we can get the run game going at least a little bit more, and that's already looking better. So Tommy Washington's able to power forward for a gain of 9. He's definitely a power rusher, doesn't have a huge amount of speed. He has broken off 1 or 2 big runs this season. I think his longest rush of the season. He's not a shifty back. He wants to run through you, not around you. But he has had 1 or 2 longer runs this season. He has gotten a little bit faster, which has been good. So, and Jefferson is over the middle, and Jeremy Lopez still has not gotten a catch today. Last game he really came alive in the second half, but let's go ahead and see if we can maybe, I don't like this play. See if we can give him the ball here. And we do, and he's able to get up for another first down for us, so we do get him going. I think he's ranked like 32nd or something like that in total passing yards. which, you know, for his first season in this system is not necessarily bad. He's in, you know, he's one of the top, you know, 30 to 40 wide receivers in the country, of which there are a lot. And I like spreading the ball around. I want our team, I want Myrick to spread the ball around. You know, again, you never know when people are going to go out with injuries. And if he can catch this, Lopez gets it all the way down to the 3, so that's a great catch for him. So after talking about his lack of ability to get the ball, at least at the beginning of this game, he's had two catches. Oh, man, that was dangerous. Okay. Just to throw that ball a little sooner if you want to do that. Okay. All right, so we are down inside the 5-yard line. Can Tommy Washington run this in? And he just bowls over the linebacker or the safety maybe, and is able to get in. So 50 touchdowns this season for our Georgia State University Panthers, which I think is probably the most touchdowns our team has scored, period, ever. Based on how poorly our offense performed last year at times, that would make sense. So we're going to go into the second quarter. It looks like up about 2 touchdowns, and this is not going to be a good kick because I was not focusing. So this is going to be out close to the 5-yard line. So Griffin's kick is not very long, so not his best kick, but at least our coverage is good, and they actually only get out to the 23. So our coverage kind of bailed us out there. We're going to see what they do. It feels like these guys in their first drive really wanted to throw the ball. We'll see if that script changes. Obviously, that first play was a off-tackle run to the left for 7. And, oh my gosh. You know, you would think that the defensive end who's got, you know, top 5 in sacks would be able to take down the quarterback, but I don't know if that's a game glitch or what, but there are times where it just really feels like he's not doing well. Actually, the one thing that I'm a little bit interested in is whether or not, so like I actually have college football revamped, so like I have the download ready to go. Because I've thought about doing that, just haven't really pulled it. Oh my gosh, he just got tossed up in the air. Holy cow. I've thought about doing it, just haven't pulled the trigger on it. I'm not really sure. I need to do a little bit of research on, is it just like adding teams? And I know there's a mod for like the college football playoff in it. But is there like a mod? Is it like, does it improve the gameplay at all, or is it really just like updating the teams? Is that really all it is? Because I don't know. I think that might change whether or not I do it. All right, it's gonna be 4th and inches. I wouldn't be surprised if they go for it, and they are going to go for it. So it'll be interesting to see here. They do go for a pass, and oh man, Harrison is wide open on the left-hand side. Okay. Part of that was we were afraid of the run. We were afraid of the run right up the gut, because that's what you would assume on a 4th and inches play. But again, sometimes there's some trickery involved with that. And Harvey takes down the quarterback, but not until he's gotten 12 yards on the ground. It's like the one thing that I've noticed about this game versus like Madden. He he gets in. Okay. Is that these quarterbacks are much more likely to run in NCAA football than they are in Madden. Like, other than guys, you know, if you look at some of the older Madden games like Michael Vick or now Lamar Jackson, unless you have one of them, or Kyler Murray too, as well, I guess. You just don't see them scramble, and in this game you have to worry about that all the time. Especially if you lose contain on the quarterback, which we did on those last couple of plays. Okay, so we're coming out on offense. We're in the second quarter. Washington's going to get up for about a gain of 5 on the first play of this drive. We're just going to let that clock keep winding. All right, that was an incomplete pass, so it's going to be 3rd and 5. And Hudson's not able to hold on to that, so it's going to be 4th down. I think we are going to punt it just because we do not want to get into a situation where we are backed up. We don't want to put our defense in that situation, although I wish our coverage was a little better. But only a 10-yard return. A pretty good field position. So the field position has been flipped a little bit. Not totally, but... They've really switched to the running game, the rushing attack, a lot more after that first drive did not go their way through the air, which is interesting because our team historically has done much better against the run than the pass. But right now they are focusing on that, but I'm gonna kind of play the odds here, and I'm going to... Okay, didn't win that bet. Because, like, the last time they did that, we were in that situation, they threw the ball. So I was just like, I'll just sit back and zone. That's not what happened, unfortunately. See, what's bad is that, like, we're blitzing, and he's still getting out of there. God, what was Justin Harvey doing? He was the only guy in that gap. That was a huge hole. And we're going to actually get to him this time, so he's not able to escape the pocket, thankfully. So it's going to be 2nd and 14. Oh, what is that? 3rd and inches. Oh, man. Okay, so we're really struggling right now to stop this offense. Even after that sack, which is super disappointing. He's just going to throw this out the back of the end zone. And we kind of bought that fake, but it didn't cost us too badly. And again, I think it was partially because, well, I don't know if factory man had anything to do with it, but they are going to have to throw. So it looks like we are going to stop them on 3rd down, so they are going to have to kick the field goal. So thankfully, our defense doesn't allow the touchdown on this drive. Although this is a fairly easy field goal, so I can't imagine that they won't get the extra 3 points here. Ooh, just barely. I like tapped right off the upright. Well, at least we know they don't seem to have a very good kicker. So, all right. That was a rough kick. Okay. So McFadden's back. He's coming up to return this, and we run right into the tackle. I should have gone outside. All right, so our last drive, we basically totally stalled out. We definitely don't want that to happen again. So, and we do not this time because Tommy Washington gets, I don't know how many yards that was, but probably like 20, something like that. He runs up the gut, plows over a cornerback. Really difficult to get down. All right. So after that first play of the game, or not the game, but oh gosh. Okay. Should have probably stayed inside on that run, but we didn't lose any yards, so it's better than nothing. Okay, Jefferson's only going to be able to get 4 from that, but it will make it a more reasonable 3rd down. So what do we do here? Do we go for it? We're at midfield. I think we're going to go for it. I think we're going to... go for this. And Allen is able to get that, pick up the 1st down, break a couple tackles. So the risk does pay off. And Hudson picks up another 16 on that out route towards the sideline. And that is not where we wanted to throw that ball. Like what? Threw it right to the guy. Like he had... Okay, I'm going to get over that. That's frustrating. There are times like where I will throw a pick that would be really bad, but then there are sometimes like that time where it just feels like Myrick does not see where the open spot in the zone is, and just he throws it like the exact opposite place of where you want it. Don't get me wrong, he's having a much better season this year in terms, at least at this point, of it with his touchdown to interception ratio. But
All right, so Derek Strickland is able to finish off that tackle, runs all the way to the other side of the field to finish that play off. Okay, so we really want to try to keep everything in front of us here. You know what? It kind of looks like they're just trying to get the clock all the way down, so I'd be surprised if they weren't just going to run the ball here. Or not. Alright, well, they're just trying to see what the screenplay would do. But this clock is just going to keep rolling all the way down to 0. And so that's going to be the second half. First couple drives looked pretty dang good, and then we've kind of stalled out on the last couple, and the last one ending on an interception with an inaccurate pass by Mark Myrick. That is not going to be taken out of the end zone. All right, so they're going to start with the ball, and we're up 14-10 right now. But again, this game last year, this was probably one of our hardest games that we played, was against ULL, so it like really doesn't surprise me all that much that this has not been a runaway for us. I would have been very surprised if. Oh my gosh, I ran right by him. Man, okay. And that was a really dangerous throw because I was in man and we were pressing. And we got absolutely smoked deep on that throw. What is that cornerback doing? And just like that, they're winning. Okay. All right, so this is getting a little bit sketchy for us. We're definitely not out of it. We're definitely not out of this game, but we've made some mistakes on offense and on defense that, if we're not careful, are going to make us pay. Tried to cut back, didn't quite work. And Allen is able to pick the first down up. That play almost blew up in our faces there. They came with a lot of pressure. then Lopez is able to catch this across the middle for another first down. So that's a 13-yard reception for him. Oh my gosh, we throw another pick. So this game that started off going fairly well for us has kind of turned it around, and all the momentum is with ULL right now. Myrick's not seeing the field well. So it's going to be 3rd and 7, so we do have a chance to get off the field here. It is going to be 4th and 3, so it looks like we will get the ball back. You tell my composure here. I'm trying to stay really focused. Because there's a lot more at stake than just losing this game. And nobody picks up the linebacker. And Hudson pulls in the tough catch. We really needed that. All right, Tommy Washington gets another 12 yards on the ground, and so he's up to 98 yards total. All right, we've thrown 2 picks on their side of the field where things have started off well on a drive and then we make mistakes. So we really want to try to avoid that here. And John McFadden, dude, you can't just fall over like that. Oof. It's rough. Okay. So now we're down to 3rd and 2. And McFadden is able to get the first down, so he is able to make up for that first run of his that he had. And Jefferson is able to get into the end zone. So after a little bit of a drought from our offense, we're able to get something going, able to get the ground game working decently well, and Myrick just keeps everything cool, calm, and collected. So we are able to get into the end zone. So we are able to retake the lead. So it's gotten a lot quieter here, but our defense still has to pull through and get a stop on this next drive. All right, so the first play from scrimmage is a 3-yard rush. Could have been worse. We're going to stay in man for the moment because I don't really know. So we are going to force them to a 3rd and 2. This is going to be a little tricky though, because I'm not 100% sure. I mean, you're never 100% sure what they're going to do. They're going to run the ball. Yes, they will. And it looks like they'll just barely get the first down. All right, so that's a little disappointing. Again, it's hard. You do not have the advantage on 3rd and short because you do not have the advantage on 3rd and short. You definitely don't have the advantage on 2nd and 2. So I'm going to predict, I don't know, if this is a real team, they might take a shot down the field. Just going to stay in cover 1. What was that? Just got run over. Okay, I mean, at the very least, it would be great to hold these guys to like a field goal. Just don't shed any blocks. What is happening? Man, this feels like our defense is just like, you know, this defense just feels like it's imploding. Like this defensive line is just like not doing its job. We're missing tackles and all that, so. We're gonna have a timeout here. Get a breather. And that is definitely going to help. So we're in a 3rd and goal situation. So I think the only thing we really can do here is just go for a cover 4. And then I think I'm just going to sit back with Walters like right here. Nice. Okay. So we do keep them out of the end zone. We're going to go for it. Holy crap. Okay, Harvey, you are Stan. Oh, thank gosh. Thank goodness. Okay. All right, so we get the ball back on 4th down. They felt the need to go for it there, although it's just kind of interesting because there is a decent amount of time still in this game. So I was kind of wondering there, like, what their thought process is behind that. We do get the first down, only pick up 2 though. That's all right though, because as long as we can keep converting, time is on our side right here. And Washington's going to get up for a 7-yard gain, although he's a little bit slow to get up. He's had a great game again. He's had good games every week. That's 123 yards total. And Myrick is just going to slide down. He trips his own player. He's just going to slide down after getting the first down. No need to risk fumbling it. McFadden gets leveled, but not until he's gotten 14 yards. Tommy Washington is back in the backfield. He is going to, he's going to get 3. McFadden is back in the backfield. And he is going to burst forward for about 12. So he's been good at coming in and relieving Tommy Washington, who I think is a little dinged up right now. He keeps coming out of the game. Oh, man. Felt like he had a step on him. Robinson gets 8, so we're going to be looking at a 3rd and 2. So this has not been one of Myrick's better games in terms of yardage and stuff like that, but you know, I think this has been a much more grinded out game. He just hasn't had any big explosive passes. The couple that he's tried to make have been picked off. So our offense just isn't quite as explosive today, which is okay. As we said, this was going to be a much harder game for us. You know, I liken it more to like the Oregon game, where you know we won that game, but we didn't have great stats. And Lopez is going to catch that for a 9-yard touchdown pass. So that gives us some padding going into the last couple minutes of this game. So we're going to be up by 2 scores. So that'll at least give our defense a little bit of wiggle room. All right, so we're just going to kick this off up the middle. We'll see if this even gets in the end zone. There's a really big headwind. It does. It gets in the end zone. So pretty strong leg, pretty strong kick. All right, so our defense comes out. They were struggling at times earlier in this game. They have come up with a couple of stops at key moments, though. I think the lesson from this game will just be there's going to be some lessons involved in terms of, again, not getting beat deep, and we missed a lot of tackles, and we've missed a lot of tackles in this game. Even by some of our better players too. So, although that was good coverage by our middle linebacker. Dotson. And those blockers were not able to hold off. We're not able to hold off our defensive back there. He shed multiple tackles there. So I think our defense was kind of seeing that, you know, if we can stop them one more time, this game is pretty much over. And Holman is going to get 4 for about 6. I decided to put Holman as punt returner just because I'm trying to keep McFadden and Washington safe and healthy. At the moment, like, we haven't had any like season-ending injuries at this point, and I'm trying to minimize if somebody else can do it decently well and Holman can do it decently, then I'm going to put him out there. McFadden's been very consistent for us on the kickoff returns as well, so. All right, and Washington is able to convert that 3rd down. So we get another 1st down, and University of Louisiana Lafayette is out of timeouts. Oh, that was not needed. I got greedy. I was also looking at his total yardage, and I was like, man, it's not very good. I think he typically gets around 250. All right. The clock is just going to keep running. So he's going to spike it. So this is definitely a 2 down or a 4 down scenario here. But he does convert it. Pretty decent coverage by Dotson. Just a better throw. He's gonna spike this again. They're still playing to win right now, which even if they do get a score here, they're gonna have to get an onside kick recovery and then score again. All right, so they do score. And they're gonna go for 2 here. Get it. So they are within 3 points of tying us. So this is definitely an onside kick situation for them, and we'll see. Allen ends up getting this, and that should do it. So even though we've made some bad mistakes in this game, I think it is looking like we're still going to come out on top here. So it's just going to take one more kneel down and this game should be over. All right, so with that, we are going to come out of here just barely escaping by the skin of our teeth, 28-25. We were able to find a way to win. This was definitely a week where we made some mistakes. Maybe we're thinking ahead too much about a national championship run. We're lucky we came out of this game. Tommy Washington ends up getting player of the game with 160 yards rushing on the ground. But yeah, so we're lucky, but we did come out with a win. So we are still keeping our college football BCS national championship hopes alive. And yeah, with that, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and follow over on Twitch if you're watching over there. And I will see you guys next time.